Okay. Looks like I'm live now. To pull it up on my phone, giving time for YouTube to catch up. um, I can still say good morning as it is prior to noon here. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to my channel, Sassy Seer Sheila. Today is Monday, January the 15th. Got to look at the computer just to see. Okay. And this still doesn't show as me being live. So bear with me while I get you guys pulled up here. Hopefully. Why is that? That's very interesting. For some reason now, Zoom has changed something and says started streaming 89 seconds ago. Okay, well, all right, there we go. At least I have everything looks proper now. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I know that there's some, I'll just say odd to me weather going on. Now, I've lived the last 30 years here in North Carolina, and it's been kind of odd the last little bit here anyway, but I know many places across the United States are experiencing blizzards and lots and lots of wind. Boy, we had wind here yesterday, like I don't even know what. And so it kind of feels to me like, at least here for me, very hunker down kind of energy, like I did have to go out yesterday, and I I don't know, it was kind of interesting. Like I said, it was very busy out yesterday, which is kind of, again, interesting for me for a Sunday. Um, oh, this one, huh? The Whirling Goddess came out this morning. Card number 30. 3 numerologically, that's the Trinity. A different set of fairies wants to come out this morning. It's kind of interesting. So I did enter into 1 or 2 little brief interactions on Facebook over the weekend with folks reporting. I, I engaged in a conversation that was being had about dreams, and I think I said this yesterday. I am really looking forward to putting together folks that are interested in coming and talking about their dreams. I have suspected for a very long time that dreams are much more. Wise Woman of the Grove. I've never had this one come out. Card number 49, which is a 4 numerologically. So that's very interesting. And it's also very interesting because this Wednesday we have our Wise Woman's Circle here locally. So if you are having dreams that you really are different for you, or you're having dreams that you remember, and I shared that my housemate was having dreams where she felt as though, and I think she was even told by her team that she's being tested for different things. and to see how she would respond. Um, Presumably, now this is me saying this, not her, um, to each one, right? To see if one is ready for this, that, or the other. And when I shared that in this thread that I was participating in, there were others who said that they kind of felt the same way, which I found interesting. And I've invited, and I want to, like I said, yesterday was an invitation, so I want to reiterate. This is what happens when you got a teeny tiny desk. You try to move things around and everything just falls off. um, I find it kind of interesting that more than one person is having the same sort of experience. So if you are having those sorts of experiences and you'd like to chat with someone, if you're open to hearing what others may feel it is, again, there's a lot of, I will be recording this week a lot. I will be re-recording some things that were on the channel before it was taken down again. um, and I'm going to put them in a special place so that if it happens again, I can upload them immediately. Um, because honestly, if you're a light worker, this book holds some key information in here to me, because most star seeds, most light workers um, have been told or have this idea that they're here to help others, which is true and disingenuous all at the same time. I don't know how else to put that, at least for me. If we are indeed all one, then anything that I do to get myself in alignment, let's put it that way, affects the whole. None of us can do anything about anyone else. That's a huge misnomer. The idea of waking people up, the idea of showing people something. If a person's consciousness is not ready to hear a thing, to take it in, to understand it, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of breath, and it just has frustrated most light workers to no end, which serves no purpose. And for me, this, like I said, this the subtitle to this is Christ Consciousness in a New Era. And there's information in this book that to me is imperative for all, really, which is again why I was so pleased that I received permission to record it. And so highly recommend, and it is freely available. You don't have to purchase the book. If you don't want to wait for me to put out the videos, go to jeshuachannelings.net and begin to read. Look for the Jeshua channelings. I'm not quite sure how they appear there. As I said, I purchased the book before I was aware that they were freely available, but I'm absolutely happy to support uh, this author, the channeler. And so let's get to it now. Okay, so the whirling goddess, which is really sort of interesting for me in terms of how it feels like the weather is happening across at least the United States. Um, and last week, it was reported to me that the United Kingdom is also having a lot of weird, severe weather. So lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Rumi. Come, my love. Are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us disassemble and lose our heads to the great music, the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving, whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. There is somewhere you are meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. There is a gift right under your nose, and fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here now, you must pass through the keyhole, but your head will tell you that this is not possible unless the door is unlocked. Even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment without you laying witness to it. Your mind will become like the dog howling for his master's return. Even as he steps out the door, frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes, then fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little until you are truly through the keyhole when it can rest. Leave it be. Instead, come dance with me. This oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. And I, I know myself that to be a true statement. Now, I've always prided myself on being someone who's very logical and very analytical, and uh, the word genius was always thrown around, like, and then, evil genius too, that's also been thrown around. um, and so when I first started hearing the spiritual concepts and trying to feel into how they would apply to me, I couldn't wrap my head around this. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it is still difficult to, when you've been a puzzle piece collector all your life, it's a little difficult to relax into yourself and know that you already have all the information you need within you. And it's not always easy to access. And for me now, what I've decided is that I will know what I need to know as soon as I need to know it. And that's really what the definition of true definition of abundance is as well for me, is having what you need when you need it, not ahead of time. That's a little bit more like hoarding, apparently. And I don't know. Like I said, sometimes it's not as easy as it's a little easier said than done, at least for me, like I said. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. I think that's just what I was saying there. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. And again, this kind of, for me, goes right back to what I was saying before I started reading this about most light workers thinking that, oh, it should be this way already. We should be here. We should be doing this. And everybody has to wake up to that before it can change. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares to put the mind to one side and says, tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart. And I will not miss one step. And to awaken the next day and do it all over again and again and again. You are ready, you see, sweet soul dancer. You are ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and as ordinary as you and I could also be so magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. And that really is true for me. I am a puzzle piece collector still and yet. And for me, it's just changed in its timbre, meaning that something will present and for whatever reason it highlights to me. And it doesn't mean I go down that rabbit hole necessarily. It means that that puzzle piece then is put right over here to the side. And I know that something sometime in the very near future, could be a few years, will show itself and that puzzle piece will immediately come forward. That's happened for me over the last several years, to be honest with you. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner. For I am already inviting you onto the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks you, what are you going to do next or how you are going to manage, you are given this divine mandate with relish, reveal the truth. I do not know. And that's the truth right there, too, for me. I got to be honest. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. This oracle brings you a special message. If there is an issue, apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. There's something that's coming forward here for me too in regards to that putting it down, right? Oh, and just that quick it left. Okay. Well, yep. It just left very quickly. Okay, so that was very interesting to me as to why that happened. But okay. On we move. Well, actually, no. Like I said, it's the way that I personally was raised. I think that causes at least me to think I have to have the answer to everything because by golly, if I didn't have a good answer when I was asked, there was trouble. So that I think that plays into it for a lot of us. But there's a lot of not being open to being shown, right? Because of that, probably because we think we have to know everything. And for oh, okay, I was just shown exactly. Each of us receive information differently. Everyone on the planet is a channeler, in my opinion. You are channeling your divinity in each moment that presents itself to you, because that is what animates the physical vessel. That was the whole point. For me, this is the way I see it. I even as a younger person, before I really started waking up to the existential questions, I started asking myself, is this really all there is? Is this it? Is this the whole point of existence? Why? What is that about? Right? And no, it's not the whole point of existing. We've been tricked into thinking, perhaps, and we've tricked ourselves. We've systematically, over generations of eons of generations, tricked ourselves into thinking that this is all there is. And because of the whole idea of scarcity and lack, and you gotta scratch and claw to make your way in the world kind of thing, we don't allow ourselves the opportunity, really, to see or even to question. Because who's got time when you're trying to bring home the bacon and shoe the children? Sorry, there's just not a lot of time left over for those sorts of questions. And so, uh, okay, that's not what I was being shown, but that's got to be at the end here, actually, because there's no tie in there. This has to do with everybody receiving information differently, um, and how it's received. I saw a channeling yesterday by Blossom Goodchild. My housemate and I do follow her, and we, again, puzzle pieces. Take it all in, hear what everybody has to say, feel into it for self, you know, if there are puzzle pieces there. And honestly, it's a really good way to take the temperature of the public, so to speak. Mhm. And in yesterday's channeling, Blossom was saying that she got a lot of emails from the channeling of the week before, and folks saying that, oh, that's no good that they put you to sleep, that you had to sleep. I've heard many channelers say that the energy is overwhelming, and it does put them to sleep at times. And that makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely perfect sense. Folks want to jump to something evil coming in and taking over and that sort of thing. And that's kind of impossible from my point of view, unless you're a match to that kind of thing happening. There's actually no way, for me, if you believe that that is possible, it absolutely is. You actually can call it to yourself. That's how all of this works. As far as I'm concerned, I have some pretty huge puzzle pieces in my own life that would prove that I attract into my field what is for me to handle, to deal with, to, you know, because I don't, again, I've changed my thoughts about what is right and wrong, good and evil. It all serves, and there's a purpose for it, or it wouldn't be happening. And so, on to the next. Wise woman of the grove. And the key word here is grace. And down here, we have a treasure box with, it would appear to be a treasure, like a ruby that's shining. And we have an older female here. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there we go. Appearing through the mist there. The wise woman of the grove steps forward and hands you an intricately carved wooden box. This is my gift to you. Guard it well. With care, you open the box. Inside, rests a perfect ruby. It sparkles in the light. This is a joy activator, she says. Hold it to your heart, and all around you, in all directions, all beings will relax and find joy in the moment. Joy is the great gift that you can give another. It is a gift of grace. And when this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a remarkable time of ease, wisdom, healing, joy, and inspiration. Your ability to hear the voices of spirit is rapidly expanding. Spirit guardians are watching over you with immense love and kindness. Being in the state of grace means being blessed by divine forces. Grace can mean having enough inner nobility that even if you know your opinion is absolutely right, you don't push the point. You are willing to drop it, knowing that in the great scheme of things, it's not that important. Besides, the Creator knows the truth of the situation, even if others don't. There are times to be abruptly, starkly honest, but this isn't one of them. Be diplomatic and gracious in your interactions with others. Speak with love and kindness. The spirit of the wise woman of the grove says you can relax and let go. Your path is guided. Spiritual nobility is growing within you. The spirit of grace is softly unfolding in your life. Kindly honor the truth of others, even if you don't agree or if you know better. The Creator knows the truth. Wow, that really speaks to what I was saying before, doesn't it? That all light workers think that we have to wake everybody up or they have to get this message or all of those sorts of things. And I just don't feel that to be so. I don't, I mean, I used to think, especially when it came to the corruption and the things that are going on that are hidden in plain sight that people aren't opening their eyes to. I thought, especially back when, I first started Conscious Conversation Central, I thought that's what it was my job to bring y'all into. Not so, not so. I with my housemate's assistance, I have been able to see myself and what it looks like from another point of view when one forcibly tries to yank someone out of their own reality and pull them into a different one. The consciousness isn't ready for it. It isn't helpful. It causes an actual meltdown in that being. Um, so I also know that by my holding whatever it is I feel to be so in my field, and quite frankly, that's what this is all about. This is my outlet to you know, get it out of me because I'm one of those people that have to process through my own mouth. And so sometimes I have to hear my own voice over and over and over and over before I get a thing. Okay. So the surrender card for today is surrender your fear of intimacy. Uh, and let's see, in 2018, I met another YouTuber. I didn't get to meet them in person, but we did a couple of conversations together on Conscious Conversation Central. His name was Lunacy. I think his channel is still out there, but he's not done anything for a very long time. And he had developed sort of a way of looking at the word intimacy, and it was into me, see. And that is what, for me now, I see it so very clearly. That's what intimacy actually is. It's has nothing to do with sex. I started suspecting that at the end of my last marriage, where, it doesn't take much intimacy to be able to become involved sexually with another being. Um, but there's something so deep and honest about allowing a person in to see you, all of you. And that's scary for a lot of people. But it's also freeing. For me, it has been very freeing to be honest with myself, to look at myself, because, hey, I wasn't even intimate with my own self. I hadn't looked all the way inside to me, who I was, what I am, what do I want, where do I want to go, what do I feel about me. And so if I wasn't willing to see into my own damn self, how was anybody else supposed to? There's a barrier there. And it continues on here. It says, you are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. That's, like I said, for most of us on the planet, there's been so much trauma we have undergone, and there's, well, most of us, every being on this planet, because that's apparently one of the things that this planet offers, is the opportunity to see, experience, and move through traumas. Not everyone is ready to rise to the occasion of that. Some come here to try and forget and choose not to. And that's okay. We have to allow that to be, just like we have to allow that it has to be allowed for us not to choose to ignore it. So this has been great for me. I hope you found it helpful. If you were drawn to this reading, I'm sure there must be something here for you. I just had a pressure change in my left ear. It's actually sort of doing a pulsar type of thing right now. That's kind of interesting too. So not quite sure what that's about. Now, I have had a couple of viewers that experiment with sending me energy. So if you're doing that, and you know who you are, by the way, you got to hit me up and let me know. And also let me know why it was pulsing, and it's backed off now, of course, but that was kind of interesting. So look for because here on this channel, I will be recording these as each chapter, and I will be putting them out as I record them. But I'm also recording volume 3. I am now starting on volume 3 of this book. So there'll be a lot of recordings coming out this week. Next week, I will be having another conversation with my friend Diane Matherna. And she contacted me and said that she had something she wanted to come and share. So I'm really excited about doing that. I think our conversation will be, not live. It will be recorded and then shared. And again, I want to put that invitation out to anyone else. If you have anything that you would love to have conversation about, to share, reach out either through private message on Facebook, uh, through comments. I also do hold my comments so that I don't miss any, because I found out a long time ago that with Conscious Conversation Central that I could do a video and 2 years later somebody could comment on it and I wouldn't know because I didn't have it set to hold the comments. So if you comment on my channel and you're wondering why it's not there, that's the reason. Because I have to go in and approve the comment so that I can see it. And I don't want to miss any comments. So you can comment there and I can contact you, or you can reach out to me at Conscious Conversation Central at gmail.com. And also, I got some new markers, so I fixed this. You can also find myself, my housemate, and my colleague Chris J at www.newlightstreaming.love. Who knew you could have a website with .love, guys? When I found that out, that was very exciting to me. But all the things that we do there, you can find it on that YouTube channel, New Light Streaming Love. Um, we are on, boy, she knows what she's doing over there. She's got us on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, Rumble, and on X, we are New Light Team, at New Light Team, right? Now, for me, I do have Conscious Conversation Central still over on Rumble, and you can find me on X at Fractals of One. But the truth of the matter is, for that, I don't really know much about all of that. I have it set up to, or I did, and I have to figure it out again, how to make it so things just automatically go over there. But if you're interested in having conscious conversations about anything that you feel led to share, hit me up, consciousconversationcentral at gmail.com, and we'll make that happen. Until next time, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each and every moment that presents itself to you. It is something that you can do. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, it just takes a moment to center and see if there's another perspective that you might be able to move towards that is a little more joyous than what looks like it's heinous. Till then, be well, my friends.